I normally try to trim my lids at the leather hard stage to be just a fraction larger than the opening of the jar. This way, when it comes to trimming the lid atop the jar, it's held in place really snugly. The body portion of the jar is stuck onto the metal, and it means I can trim the entirety of the outside shape without a few lugs of clay getting in the way. The tightly fitting lid also means I can flip the entire assemblage upside down and trim the now holding the body in place. The next step happens after the pot has been biscuit-fired to 1000 degrees Celsius, and the rim, the underside of the lid, the side of the jar are all waxed. This creates a layer the glaze won't be able to adhere to, and it means long term there should be less time spent tidying up the vessel in preparation for the reduction firing next. After dunking the components, I let them sit out and dry for a day or so, and as the moisture of the vessel, the glaze becomes soft and powdery and easier to tidy up. Here, my task is to essentially make sure any of those waxed areas are completely free of glaze, as inevitably there are still always some droplets that cling to it. The next step is to prop the lid on top of the body of the jar using this stuff, wadding. I make it myself from 50% china clay and 50% coarse alumina hydrate, and using this I can place the two components together without them actually touching, which means I can fire them together too, without worrying about the parts fusing together. With all the lidded jar forms I create, there's always quite a lot of work left post-firing. In this instance, the lid was still firmly stuck in place, so I used a piece to gently tap it away. Sometimes iron in the clay can stick to the waddings, which makes them a bit more difficult to remove, but I'm also really careful to never let them touch the glaze itself, otherwise they really stick to the pot, and removing them can actually damage the object. As I threw this lid intentionally a bit too wide, the final thing I do is grind the two components together with some carborundum paste between them. This grinds away any excess stoneware that was preventing the lid from properly slotting in place. And after a good wash in hot, soapy water, this low, lidded jar, a trinket box or a jewellery box, is finally finished. It was thrown with a high-iron stoneware clay body and was coated with a pale green feldspathic crackle glaze that was reduction fired to cone 10, or about 1290 degrees Celsius.